Would you all close your eyes with me and for the next 15 seconds, think of one thing or one person that you're grateful for today. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So when you closed your eyes and thought of that one person or one thing that you were grateful for, there were multiple emotions, memories that flickered across your mind. Poignant, perhaps sadness a little bit, but never a tinge of anger. Because research has proven that when we are grateful for the things that we have received, we cannot but be happy. So at the company, we start all our meetings with an expression of gratitude, institutionalizing it as a ritual of sorts. So that sets the tone for the discussion and also removes any tense knots that are there. The ethos of happiness. Many years ago, Aristotle said that happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Happiest people can create happiest customers, and better knowledge can lead to better health. This is our mission and the reason why we exist. All of us have different set points for happiness. Research again says that half of our happiness set points are predetermined genetically. So if I don't see smiles on your faces today, I know who to blame. 10% of our happiness set points is circumstantial, whereas 2/5, 40% is something that we can work on as individuals. And therefore, an organization cannot ensure the happiness of its people, but we can enable the happiness of our people by providing the enabling conditions and the capacity conditions in order for them to build on this 2/5. The ethos of happiness evangelism. Now, while you might say happiness is a conscious choice, not an automatic response, and I don't want to be happy, it's perfectly all right. But happiness evangelism is an imperative, a responsibility that we all carry. So, what is happiness evangelism? Who is a happiness evangelist? Many of you here hold a responsibility to be happiness evangelists to one another, to our customers, our readers, and to society at large. A happiness evangelist is someone who is polite and courteous, someone who's kind and concerned, someone who's helpful, who goes that extra mile, to delivers their commitments, and generally keeps others around them happy. This ethos of mindfulness. A little practice. We'll do a little practice called the breath watch. So, you would close your eyes, sit with your back and neck straight, and follow the instructions as I guide you through it. And as you're sitting in this silence with your eyes closed, pay attention to your breathing. See how the air passes through your nostrils, in and out. If there is a thought that is in the background or a sound, don't judge that, don't run away with that, but just come back to your breath every single time. And you can gently open your eyes. How do you feel? Can I have some answers? How do you feel? Refreshed, okay?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. And we did this for just about 15-20 seconds, that is all. And mindfulness meant being mindful. All that happens because we do these practices, but also doing mindful. In our relationship with the other, do we perceive one another immersively? Do we process it non-judgmentally? And do we perform empathetically? John Kabat-Zinn from the University of Massachusetts, one of the earliest proponents of mindfulness, after years of research, he said there is a triple-fold benefit to mindfulness practice, especially the breath watch. The brain waves are theta waves, which correspond to a deep relaxation state, which is why you all felt peaceful and relaxed and fresh. The amygdala, which is the source of all anxiety, reduces in size, and the gray matter in our brain increases in volume. A 6-week post-training survey reveals that 2 in 3 people report increased productivity. 86% said their personal well-being had improved, and 81% said that they could work well with others. Something as small as this. Others said that they were peaceful, they were calm. Calm in traffic jams. In Bangalore, it's so very important for us to learn to be calm at traffic jams. Just a little breath watch. Try that every single day. It all boils down to a culture of care in our organizations. A culture where we understand one another completely, where we remove all our prejudices, our preconceived notions, our biases, our filters, and where we are empathetic to one another. And the ethos of wellness. It's important for us to orient ourselves to focus outward toward activities that promote psychological flourishing instead of concentrating within. It alleviates our concern as well. The acronym PRIME encapsulates this: physical wellness, relational wellness, intellectual wellness, mental wellness, and ecological wellness. The ethos of listening. Did you know that the letters of the word silent and listen are the same? Yeah, they are. So, in order to listen, we ought to be silent. It's so very important for us that we don't listen to one another. We are already framing an answer when someone is talking to us, but we ought to be good listeners. And the role of mental health cannot be undermined. Even the United Nations in their Sustainable Development Goals have added the role of mental health. However, severe discrimination and stigma continues to haunt us. Someone with a mental health issue suffers with stigma. Cultural beliefs and inadequate infrastructure also add to this. And the gap between people needing care and access to care has become very substantial. And according to WHO, the 2 main conditions of mental health are depression and anxiety. And that costs the global economy US $1 trillion every single year. So when one is at a crossroad wondering what choices to make, when one is overwhelmed with grief and loneliness, when no one understands you, you're misunderstood, you feel all alone, who does one turn to? When one faces a situation in conflict, who does one go to? It's important that there is somebody who gives a listening ear, somebody who listens in privacy, safety, and confidentiality. A mental health ambassador, a mental health advocate. The vulnerability with which they come to you and share the story and the trust that they have in you is very touching. And I believe the more we give, the more we receive. It's an immutable law. It doesn't come back from the same source, but it definitely comes back bigger and greater. So to celebrate our milestones, we can give of our time, give of our talent, give of our treasure, because in so doing, we are contributing to make this a beautiful world. So to conclude, the impact of happy people on organizations is dramatic. They create innovative and resilient companies, those that can withstand the onslaught of a VUCA environment, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment in a competitive marketplace. Leaders need to harness the power of happiness. Happy people will stay physically and psychologically with the job and with the organization, leading to improved performance in service and loyal customers as well. And an organization that promotes health, physical, relational, intellectual, mental, and ecological health is a need of the hour. A culture that fosters happiness, happiness evangelism, and mindfulness. A culture of listening, a culture of care. Today, I'm grateful for my experiences, for the enrichment that all my connections have brought me. As is always, the beauty is in the connection, is right here, is right now, and that is powerful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.